Hold on, let me see if the
What is your name?
Richard Simpkins.
And what inspired you to start up the camping grounds?
Oh, well, I wanted to do something for student literacy while I was here. So I wanted to start a writing lab, and I wanted to be able to create some sort of incentive for kids to come to that general area after school. So I thought if I served coffee, then we'd get more attendance at the writing lab once it started.
Okay. So, what do you like best about being able to have this coffee shop on campus?
Uh, what I like best about what I like best about it is that it gets students to tutoring, whether it be at the writing lab, which will be starting up pretty soon, or in their classes because they have to stay an extra hour late. What I also like about it is I can now get a good cup of coffee at work.
Um, what are some specific skills that some of the employees should develop?
I think first and foremost a sense of responsibility, which is really what all of the hospitality and culinary departments are oriented towards. Because no matter what your job is, even if you're going to be a doctor or a lawyer, it doesn't really matter what field you're in. If you have a sense of responsibility for the success of whatever operation that you're part of, you're going to be able to succeed in any other kind of operation. So that's probably more important even than the coffee making skills or any other skill that might be oriented towards the coffee shop. These are skills that are oriented towards all jobs everywhere and oriented towards life.
What are some of the mistakes that people in this field typically make?
In the field of coffee,
Yes.
well, I can't say I'm an expert on the coffee business because coffee's always been sort of a hobby for me. But but I would say that some of the more typical mistakes have to do with not understanding the culture of the business that they're in. So people who drink coffee, they drink coffee for a variety of reasons. And when you create a shop, you create one that sort of cultivates its own customer base. And if you don't understand your customer base, then you're going to lose it. So there's always this tension between giving the customer what they want and educating the customer, and being able to do both is critical. I think the biggest mistake is erring on one side or the other.
Um, what advice could you offer for someone entering the coffee business?
Well, again, this is really not something I'm an expert in terms of business because I've never done anything like this before. But you know, as somebody who's consumed a lot of coffee and who's been on the other side of the counter a lot, um, I'd say the number one advice I would give would be to know the taste of your customers and what they want so that you can give it to them, which means getting to know your customers, which means creating a community.
Right. What is most valued in this work site?
Um, Consistency. You know, if you can pull a shot of espresso that tastes the same every time, and you're putting it in a drink that's made the same way every time, then not only will your customers know what they're getting when they order something every time, but you'll also have start to establish a reputation of coffee that tastes a certain way. Like the best compliment that I've gotten was from somebody who ordered a coffee drink from us, one of the photographers that was here last week. And he said that it tasted exactly like a shop in Denton that he goes to. And I happen to know that that shop in Denton serves the exact same beans that we serve, which means the drink that we made was very close to the way that they make a drink in that shop, which is a professional shop. So the fact that you know that a shop that uses the same beans was able to create, we were able to create a drink that tastes exactly like that one, tells me that there's a consistency in what we're making, that we're doing it the right way. So consistency would be the answer.
What are some of our initiatives regarding learning and educating and educational skills and development here?
Repeat that question.
What are some of our initiatives in teaching some of these students on how to do the different types of coffee?
Well, I'd say the Capping Grounds is itself an initiative, right, that requires students to be able to make coffee to the standards that are required so that people can enjoy them, right? So that in itself is an initiative. But I think also the everything else that the culinary department and the hospitality department do are also initiatives that support all of those goals, because there's, we're getting ready to start with a new POS system where it can ring up everything that we're serving. And some of those things that we're planning on ringing up include muffins and cookies and fresh fruit and other things that culinary makes, right? So all of those culinary and hospitality initiatives support the same sort of skills that Cap and Grounds trying to throw out. So I would say, they work in concert with one another.
All right. Well, thank you so much for this interview.
You're welcome.